Meteorologist and famous storm chaser Reed Timmer is bringing his wealth of knowledge to the Ozarks with his upcoming show live at the AETOS Center in Nixa. And Reed joins me now via Zoom. Good morning, Reed. How are you?
Good morning. I'm excited to head up to southwestern Missouri, February 28th.
Yes, well, we're so excited to have you. So, first things first, what was kind of your original interest? Like, how did your interest in weather and storm chasing and this world kind of get started for you?
Well, for as long as I can remember, I've been obsessed with severe weather and wanted to be a storm chaser. I think it goes back to about 1985. I was 5 years old and I was underneath a tornado warning. My dad was pulling me in a wagon and he said we could see a rope off to the north. And my mom, who was a science teacher in middle school, she's the one that really got me started on the path of the sciences. So I collected insects for a long time, but weather and storms were always my big passion. And as soon as I got my driver's license, I realized that I could chase after the storms and I didn't have to wait for them to come to me anymore. And then moved to Oklahoma to study meteorology, and I've been storm chasing ever since.
Storm chasing ever since. And you've obviously done so much with that. I'm curious, when that initial interest started as a kid, did you ever think this is what you'd end up doing for, the better part of your career?
Well, I knew that that was the only option as I got older because I was so passionate about storm chasing and severe weather that I had to devote my life to it, including not only chasing storms, but studying tornadoes and severe weather, launching sensors into tornadoes by rocket. We have armored vehicles now called the Dominators, and I'm going to have the Dominator 3 on hand at the Nixa event coming up on February 28th. And that's the tank-like vehicle that we use to actually get inside of the tornado and record data that other people cannot safely collect.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so speaking of that, you've seen so many storms and so many things that a lot of us will probably never see in our lifetime on our own, right? But is there a particular instance or situation that you found yourself in that kind of sticks with you for whatever reason that may be?
Yeah, there have been quite a few of them. There's definitely I've seen nearly 1,000 tornadoes at this point. I have storm chased for over 25 years, so there's a lot of kind of close calls and crazy tornadoes and crazy severe weather events that I've seen. Not only tornadoes but also hurricanes. But definitely the one that really sticks out is when we were doing our science mission. We were launching miniaturized sensors into the tornado, just like the movie Twisters. And back in 2019, just a little bit to the northwest of Nixa, we launched a rocket into an EF4 tornado just south of Lawrence, Kansas, and the parachute popped, and the miniaturized sensor was carried at speeds of up to 190 miles an hour, went all the way up to above 30,000 feet, and we recorded the first ever data of thermodynamics inside of a tornado in 3 dimensions, almost like the original Twister when they were using Dorothy to deploy those miniaturized sensors into the tornado. And that's definitely a chase that stands out because finally, after 15 to 20 years of trial and error with our science mission, we finally got a rocket inside of that tornado. But I definitely had a lot of close calls. I know I just posted about the Canton, Texas tornado that happened in 2017, and I actually got stuck in a ditch in the path of that monster wedge tornado. So that's probably the closest I've come to having problems.
Yeah, that's so interesting. One, to, have those almost like quote unquote near death experiences, if you will, but also to kind of see that really cool science and that evolution of some of that stuff and to be able to be there firsthand experiencing it, I think is really special. Now, you've teased it a few times here already, but what can people expect from you live on stage at ATOS on the 28th?
Well, there's going to be a lot of crazy tornado videos. I'm going to share a lot of stories of some of those experiences that you talk about of being inside of tornadoes. I'm going to share a lot of the data that we collected. And it's all going to be in the theme of never stop chasing and following your passions in life. And if you do what you love for a living, it never feels like you're actually working. And it's really easy to work very hard at it. And so that's what I'm going to try to stick to that theme to inspire the next generation of storm chasers, meteorologists, and scientists out there. But I definitely show you what it looks like from of a tornado from the inside. So I show you a lot of crazy tornado intercepts, the video of us launching rockets into the tornado, and the Dominator 3 will be on hand. So I'm driving that up there. So we're going to drop the hydraulics down. We can shoot rockets off right in the parking lot there. So I look forward to showing you the Dominator 3, which basically looks like an old bomber. It looks pretty beat up because it has a lot of scars from tornado intercepts over the years. And we even hit a deer last year and it ended up caving in the front end, but we were able to rebuild the front end of the Dominator 3. But I look forward to sharing the Dominator 3, sharing some crazy stories of tornado intercepts, and just connecting with our Team Dominator fans out there.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure our viewers are excited to connect with you as well, Reed. My final question for you, on that idea of never stop chasing your dreams and kind of doing what you love, right? Is there still anything else that maybe you're hoping to achieve within your career that you haven't maybe tapped into just yet?
Certainly, still have a long ways to go. I feel like I'm just getting started in a lot of ways. And we'd like to launch multiple rockets into the tornado at the same time because then we can really look at the gradients and thermodynamics inside of the tornado. Maybe even one day explore some dissipation methods. Maybe we could light the tornado up and try to dissipate it one day. I think that's probably more of a project for the future generations of storm chasers out there. But I also want to do a lot more with search and recovery, disaster relief after the storm. So we don't only want to help out before and during the tornado outbreak, but we want to do a lot more with recovery after the storms move by. Because as everybody knows all too well, there in southwestern Missouri, you had the Joplin, Missouri tornado back May 22nd, 2011. That recovery takes years. It takes a long time to recover after these storms.
Yeah, well, we're excited to see what else you do, Reed. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me this morning. Reed Timmer live at the AETOS Center Stage, February 28th. Do not miss it. Get your tickets. Can't wait to see what else Reed's got in store for us.
Never stop chasing. Thank you for having me.